Bottom of the hour, back on Get Up. We talked about the LeBron milestone of last night. Hit 50,000 points. Again, every point he scores sets a record. Let's look back at his milestones. May of 2017, he passed Michael Jordan for first place on the all-time playoff scoring list. That one came in the Eastern Conference Finals against Boston. Fast forward 2 years ago, February of 23, LeBron passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar became the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. It was a record that Kareem had held since 1984. And then, of course, finally last night, LeBron coming into the game against the Pelicans, just needing 1 point to get to 50,000. And so he puts that nice round figure up, and he gets it on his very first shot of the night on a three that he got on a feed from Luka Doncic. So here's the mountaintop of NBA scoring with LeBron at the top. He is now nearly 6,000 points clear of Kareem, over 10,000 points beyond Michael Jordan. For more perspective, the next closest active player is what I meant to say, is Kevin Durant, who is just over 35,000 career points. For all the people who are screaming at the television, yes, we are well aware that LeBron went straight to the NBA out of high school, and all the other names you saw on there played in college. Kareem played 3 years of college because freshmen weren't eligible, but spent 4 years in college. Michael spent 3 years in college. We get all of that. Context is not usually perfect when we talk about sports history. That said, it still tells a story. Every single time he does something like this, it adds to a legacy that puts him certainly in the rarest of rarefied.
Yeah, and he's 6,000 clear and still adding to it. It's not like he put his nose past it. And that graphic represented playoffs and regular season.
Right.
And the reason that's interesting and important is because getting to the playoffs and having deep runs year after year after year after year, he's played an extra 2 seasons just in playoff games in his career. And so the thing about him is that the last couple of years he's played well, but I don't truly think he's really believed in the team. Maybe there were windows when he believed. They got to the conference finals 2 years ago. The way he is now playing, he is playing like he believes in this team. And while the milestones are nice and he's happy to have them, what is getting him up every day is the realization that this team could make another deep run. Something that maybe he didn't expect. It sort of came out of the blue. I think he liked the chances of him and Anthony Davis together. I think he loves the chances with him and Luka.
There's something just gnawing at me that also just wants to add for context that there are more playoffs now than there ever were before. He has played more playoff games in some part because there are additional layers of playoffs. So again, none of these stats are perfect, but LeBron has earned all of the accolades that he's getting and then some. I want to play the soundbite that we mentioned earlier here for you, Monica, because in case anyone didn't see it. Big Perk came on here yesterday, and he made a lot of very cogent, interesting points. And then he went on First Take and may have lost his mind. This is what the big fella said about 40-year-old LeBron.
I would have to argue, and I would have to say right now today, that LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. Here's why I said, the best player in the NBA gets it done on both ends of the floor. LeBron James is getting it done at the age of 40 on both ends of the floor at a high level.
Is that right?
Woo! At the age of 40, LeBron James is getting it done on both ends of the floor at a high level. That is correct. Best in this instance to me is making a statement on the longevity and how long LeBron has been able to do.
No, but is he the best player now? That's what Perk is saying.
Literally, we got the email last night.
We know he's the greatest player now.
We got this email last night, and I was like, okay, wait, let me really, really, really think. Can I go there? If you had to put them in an imaginary Space Jam one-on-one, whoever you think is the best, I do wonder if all the mileage catches up to LeBron at this point, and so I'm hesitant to move off of some of the MVP candidates.
But that is, no. So the MVP is done. That's a different conversation. SGA is going to be the MVP. Here's the question I'm asking you.
Tell me.
If I said you can have any one active player right now on your team to make this year's playoff run, you could just pick any player who's currently playing right now and say, I want that guy on my team to try and win a championship with. Would your first pick be LeBron?
No. I'm still going SGA.
The point that she's sitting there thinking about it and that we can have a discussion is what Perk's point is that, believe it or not, it's a discussion.
Yeah, it's definitely a discussion.
It irritates me how much of the country at large is ignoring the Thunder, who are 50-11 and have the best defense in the league by a country mile, and Shea is one of the best defensive players at the point guard position in the league. and is averaging 34 points or something and is doing it incredibly efficiently and does it at both ends, I can't. I just
He's the best player, is what you're saying.
I just cannot accept people not acknowledging how good Shea has been. And so therefore, I cannot agree with Perk. However, he has a point. It's not a ridiculous